Hi, I'm Riot.
I'm Alex.
Today we're going to be playing,
Viticulture.
and this is a game where we try to get intoxicated.
Yes. No, we're actually selling the wine, not necessarily drinking it. But I guess any good winemaker worth their weight would be partaking in their own product as well. This is not necessarily a new game. This is the essential edition of the game, so it's the newest version.
Newish?
Newish.
Newish.
It's also newish. It's gone through, I think, two revisions. So this is the newest. This does not include any of the expansion. So the Tuscany expansion, while I do have that, we have not included it in this game. This is Riot's first playthrough. So we are going to do a little bit of a setup overview on the game, go over the basic rules, and then get a playthrough in. It's not that complex, especially if you are familiar with how worker placement games go. So it should feel like pretty second nature. It's a pretty highly rated game in the community
30?
of Board Game Geeks,
30?
somewhere around 30. I'm a huge fan of Tapestry.
That's a great game.
And this game, while it's got some elements that are similar, it's also pretty different. So I wouldn't necessarily compare the two. Obviously, Wingspan also from Stonemaier games, so they got a pretty good track record. But we've got the board set up in front of us.
And I'm not wearing shoes, which is perfect for smashing.
You're stomping on grapes. Yeah. Exactly. You're going to be doing some of that. So the objective of the game here is the first player to get to 20 victory points wins. There is no time limit. Game rounds are played in a year. You start in spring. You obviously go through winter. During that time, you're going to be placing workers in particular seasons. Yellow would be your summer season. So these are all summer actions. Blue would be your winter season, and those are winter actions. You're going to be getting cards in your hand. The green cards are your vines. So these would be the different types of grapes that you could potentially grow to make your wines. You can make red, white, blush, and sparkling wines. Though grapes only come in the red and the white variety. So we'll go over that in a little more detail. The way you get points here is by a couple ways. You can get points through various actions, especially if you've upgraded your winery by building some buildings on it. But probably the most lucrative way of getting points is to fulfill orders. Orders come on these purple cards. I'll draw one just for an example.
You've been sampling your wine already?
Apparently. This order here is requiring 6 level red wine. The wine comes in levels on your board 1 to 9. Wine will age every year, so you could harvest a Sauvignon, Cabernet Sauvignon vine for a value of 4. Wait 2 years, it'll age to a 6. You suddenly got a 6 wine. You could play your purple card, which is fulfilling an order action in the winter, and that would give you 3 victory points. The icon down here in the bottom. And it would also generate 1 residual lira, which is the currency in Italy, 1 lira per year. You can use the lira, which comes in these coins, to buy various things, whether it is upgrades to your winery or potentially use the money to do other things that may come in the cards, such as buy grapes from vendors so you don't have to harvest your own grapes and things of that nature.
Now, I noticed they're using lira. Did they switch to the EU? Are they European dollar now, or are they still making lira? Because I thought that was...
Well, they're definitely EU now, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong. But I think if you read the description on the game, it says that you're not necessarily modern day. But I could be wrong on that.
Well, no, I was just curious out of historical things.
Yep. So,
well, not that that's historical. But disregard.
Always good for the history lesson, right? So the first thing that I like is kind of cool is there's a mama and a papa of the winery. And those are the 2 big cards up on the top of the table. So go ahead and draw one of each for yourself. You don't have to hide these. But this is going to basically tell you what your winery is going to start out with. So you've got Papa Joel and Mama Ariel. Those are going to be the Papa and the Mama of the winery for you. And it tells you what you're going to start the game with. So the top, You're
Okay.
always going to start with 2 little workers. So I put on the side of your board there, you'll see your worker tokens. There's little workers and there's one big worker. The big worker is called the Grande worker. And he was able to do any action regardless of where that action's been taken or not. So typically, how a 2-player game work, which is what we're playing, only one player can do each of these actions in each season, right? So if I decide I'm going to play my small worker to plant a vine, you cannot play a small worker to plant a vine, but you could play...
The bully can come over and be like, I'm in there right there.
Exactly. So
Alright, cool.
some of that worker, obviously, you want to kind of get an intuition on what your opponent is doing, so you can try and block them, know when they've used their Grande worker and when they haven't used their Grande worker to your advantage. And that is a key to winning the game, as in any worker placement game. So you always start with, from what I understand, is the 2 small and the 1 large. And then you also get some lira. It looks like, was that 2 from Mama and 4 from Papa on the top there?
Yeah.
So you're starting with 6 from the top. And then you also get the bottom. So the bottom on the Mama, you're getting 1 yellow and 1 purple card. So go ahead and draw 1 yellow and 1 purple. Again, you want to keep your hands to yourself. On your Papa, you have an option. And I can't really tell, I'm sorry, what that building is.
It's this little barn here.
It looks like it could be the irrigation symbol. Is it this symbol, or is it a different symbol?
No,
is it that symbol?
It looks like the cellar, the medium cellar.
Cool. So you could either get a medium cellar, or how many lira?
Yeah, because, yeah. So these are the smaller cellars, I guess. Larger.
Yeah, I think this one is the cottage, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, so the way the cellars work, when you start the game, you have the ability to get up to a level 3 of white or red wine. You start with a small cellar. You won't be able to age anything to a 4 or above until you buy the medium cellar for 4 lira.
Well, it makes sense to go with the cellar, I would assume.
I think that's probably a good play.
Okay, now should I look at my cards and see if, like...
Yeah, so let me explain it with the yellow cards. We've gone over the green cards and the purple cards. The green cards, again, being your grapes, your vines. Your purple cards being your orders that you're fulfilling to get victory points. The yellow cards and the blue cards...
Don't be N64 and 007 on me.
I'm not looking at your cards.
Right.
You can show the audience. The yellow cards and the blue cards are cards that you can play in those specific seasons. Remember, yellow card is summer, blue card is winter. It does require an action, right? So you'd have to use the play action to play a yellow card or a blue card. And those cards are kind of what spice the game up a little bit in terms of the actions. You know, say I'm going to block Riot by harvesting a field, knowing he doesn't have his Grande worker. He could have a blue card that lets him harvest, which could foil my plan to block him. There's also some blue cards that let you fill orders, get victory points. I think I had one the other day where how many grapes I had sitting in my crush pad, I got a victory point per grape. So there's a lot of uniqueness going on with those cards.
The board's really pretty.
It is. Yeah, it's got...
I like the cards, too.
Yeah, the cards are pretty thick. I wish they had... You'll see as we start putting these beads on, I kind of wish they were double layered so you could socket them in, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a little nitpicky. I should explain the boards a little bit. So anything on your board is your board, right? So I can't play something on his board. I can't place a worker on his board. Vice versa. You can buy a couple things here. So some things you want to look at getting early. The trellis, which is in the top left corner, is 2 lira, and the irrigation is 3 lira. And those items, or those buildings, are required to plant certain types of vines. You will not be able to plant it unless you have those items. So those are pretty high importance items to get pretty early in the game. And then you've got the tasting room, the cottage, and the windmill, which give you the ability to do... The windmill I had the other night, which was actually really good. The windmill allows you to get 1 victory point every time you plant a vine. So I kind of gamed the system. My wife wasn't very happy with it, but I won by planting a lot of vines. And then also on the tasting room, being able to host a lot of tastings, because the tasting room allows you to get 1 victory point if you have at least 1 wine in your cellar. So there's a couple other, ways you can get victory points tied to your specific board. Another good item, building that you could buy is the yoke. It's in the center of the board there. That allows you to harvest or uproot one field. And why that's important is because then you no longer have to rely on placing a worker on your board. You can do it all the time. You never have to worry that someone is going to hijack that space from you. So that's a pretty good one to harvest your grapes from. We won't go too much more into detail other than say that you have the 3 cards on the top here. These are your fields. You can plant, as it says on the card, a maximum wine value of 5, of 6, and of 7 on each card. So you could have, you'll see as we turn over some of our vine cards, you'll have a vine that's worth 1 and a vine that's worth 4. You could plant the vine 1 and the vine 4 on this one and fill that field. So there's a little bit of management involved with where you're planting your grapes as well. Last thing I'll note on the fields, if you'd like, it's a quick way to make some money. If you're not using a field, you can sell the field for the lire amount that's on the card, and you can always buy it back later for the same amount. So it's kind of like taking a loan without having to pay interest, which I'm not sure if I like that necessarily, but it's an interesting mechanic. I think that's the basics.
Renting it out?
I guess it's renting it out, but it says sold.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to buy it back from me after I bought it from you, I'm charging you a premium for it. But, c'est la vie. Although that's French, not Italian.
Hey,
Anyways.
I think every country likes wine.
Let me get my mama and papa and see what we got going on here. So I've got a nice Italian name, Papa Trevor. and Mama Nicole.
I'm not going to lie, that immediately reminds me of an actor that I can't remember the name of. 2 actors. An actress and an actor. Maybe if I go further back, I got Adam Sandler and I don't know.
My wife, we were playing the other night, she got a papa that looked exactly like Matt Damon. It was kind of weird. I don't know who
I know
it
this
like.
looks like Giada from the Food Network.
A little bit. Yeah.
This guy, I don't know.
He looks pissed off.
Yeah.
He doesn't look happy.
That because Giada was hanging out with your fella over there.
Yeah, I guess so. So I start with 3 lire from my top, and then I get a green card. It looks like black on the screen, but that's because we're using green screen. I get a green card and a blue card. And then I can get the tasting room or 5 lire, and I am 100% taking the tasting room.
Oh, I feel robbed, Papa Joel.
Papa Trevor for the win. Perfect. So, take a peek at my cards here and see what I got. The chroma's kind of messing with the green card a little bit, but you can see that there. And my blue card. That one's kind of fun. I like this one a little. All right, so let's get started on the game. I know we're kind of missing on some of the things, but again, these games you kind of just start playing and we tackle things as we go. I'm going to get the first player token just because I've played the game before, so I want to give Jake Riot a disadvantage here. What I like about this is they got this. What do they call this thing in the game? It's the roosters. Is what I call it. So you got your rooster token. The first player token doesn't mean I go first. The first player token means I get to pick what number I want on essentially an initiative track. And depending on what number I pick, I could get a benefit. So obviously, if you want to go first, you don't get a benefit. You just get the benefit of going first. If I decide I want to go 4th, then I would get 1 lire at the start of my turn. And then Riot would go next, and he'd decide, oh, do I want to go before Alex or after him? Is there a particular thing that I want? I want this extra worker. This guy in the bottom, he's an extra worker that you get for that year only. So,
it's a bidding system.
It's kind of like a bidding system, and it's kind of cool. And it really comes into play, especially later in the game. So another little nuance that I really like. So as I'm holding the first player token, I will choose first. And I think I'm going to want that extra worker. So I'll leave that there until I think it's my turn officially, even though I know I'm going to go first. Now, Riot, you can decide what you want.
I think I'm gonna take that extra.
Okay, so you'll get that when your first turn starts. So now it's my turn. We are in this a wake up position. That's what that's called. The wake up positions.
Oh, that makes sense.
Rooster, wake up. Here we are in the summer season. I get my extra worker, and my first action is going to be.
I didn't cheat. I just happened to glance. I swear. I just looked over. I need glasses. I can't see that far anyway.
My first action is going to be a build action. And I am going to build the irrigation tower.
Ah, so you can't just buy a bunch of stuff. You have to put a dude down.
It's an action. Yep. Again, some cards, some yellow cards or blue cards might give you the opportunity to build outside of using an action for it. Now it's your turn.
So we take you go, I go,
Yep.
you go, I go?
Yep.
Is that how that works?
Yep, so
I
you
get
get
my
your
lire.
lire now.
Alright, and I don't know if I want to bully in there and get something built, but I believe I do. Maybe now to place something I already own. How does that work?
If you already own it, you've got it. You don't have to place it. You have it. So you've got the medium seller, right?
Right.
So you can just put that over the medium seller.
And then to play a card, is that an action?
Yep. You'd have to go place a worker on the yellow spot.
Right. So we're going to do this first.
Oh.
And so I have gain 3 or make up to 2 glasses. You would explain the glasses.
Yeah,
to
so
me.
making up to 2 wine. Making a wine requires taking grapes from your crush pad and converting them into wine. So
Which
you
I
would
don't
be
have
unable
any,
to
right?
do that because you do not have any grapes.
But I could take the 3.
You could take 3 lira.
So I'll do that if you want to just keep 5.
Swimming in it. Discard.
And that will be the end of first turn.
Perfect. I'm going to go next and do, obviously, and do a plant action. And I am going to plant my Sauvignon Blanc white wine, or white wine grapes, whatever the correct term is. I'm going to plant those on this field. And so now that I've planted, we'll take a pause here. Now that I've planted those grapes, when it becomes winter, I could take a harvest action. And when I do that, I would take one of these beads and I would place it on a 3 for the white grape. Then I could do a make wine action to move that over to make my wine. So 2 separate actions to harvest and then make wine. Once I harvest, this stays on the field. You don't rip it up and have to replant it every time.
Right. All right. I think I'm going to bully myself in there. And now, do I get to draw a green card, or do I have to have a green card?
You have to have a green card.
Okay.
You can use a worker to draw a green card.
That's what I'll be doing then this turn. Oh, perfect. This is my favorite.
All right. I'm not looking.
But there's a building in it. Does that mean I am required that building?
Yes,
in
you
order
are.
To plant then?
Yep. And it could be 2 buildings depending on the level of the wine. Level 4 wines require both the trellis and the irrigation. Level 3 require one or the other. And I think 2 and 1 typically are free. Okay. Back to me. I've got 2 workers left, including my grande worker. I've got the tasting room, but I need to have wine in my vineyard or in my cellar in order for that to really mean anything to me. I think I've got no lira left. I'm poor because that Papa Trevor has a tasting room and any lira. I'm gonna pass.
All right, I think I'm going to use my grande to build a structure. Now, is that going to cost me an extra lira?
No.
Okay.
No, so those, if you're playing a 3, 4, 5, 6 player game, you get, if you're the first person to take that action, you get that bonus.
Okay.
So it adds another element of competition to a game where there's more players.
And I will be building my irrigation if you would kindly give me 2.
Sure.
I will place my irrigation system up.
Okay. And that was your last worker, right?
Correct.
So now we are going to move on to fall. And in the fall, we get the option, you and I each, we get to draw either a yellow card or a blue card. Our choice.
What's the benefit, or what are you getting out of the yellow cards versus the blue cards?
Yellow cards can only be played in the summer. Blue cards can only be played in the winter. It's the only difference. But they're functionally the same card. They're visitor cards.
So with winter coming up, blue would be the ideal.
Unless you already have a blue card that you want to use.
I think do I get to choose first?
I don't think it necessarily matters because the cards are shuffled. Okay. My wife and I were playing. It was whoever had the first turn. So I'm going to draw a yellow card.
I'm taking a yellow. I'm going to go with the blue and hope for something.
And here's what I got. Cool. So it's my turn to go first. Still, as we're still in this first year. First thing I'm going to do, which shouldn't surprise anybody, is I'm going to harvest my field. Which is going to give me a white grape at level 3. And then you're out of actions, so you can't do anything. And I'm going to play my last worker. And I'm going to make wine. And I'm going to make 1 level 3 wine. That'll be my last action. So the year is over. First thing we do is we age our grape or wine tokens. Now, I don't have the medium cellar yet. So technically my wine would age from 3 to 4. But since I do not have the medium cellar, it stays at 3. Riot does not have anything in his mash, or his crush pad, or his cellars yet. Next, we're going to retrieve our workers. So take all your workers off the board. This worker goes back to the bottom there. We collect any residual payments that we had, right? So we don't have any yet because we haven't filled any orders. We discard down to 7 cards. That's our hand limit, which we're good with. And then I pass this over to Riot, and he gets first take on the wake up positions.
And I will be borrowing a worker.
Okay, and so for me, I will be, I'm pretty lira starved right now, so I'm going to take the lira.
So technically I shouldn't take this guy until right now.
I don't think it matters. It's a 2, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Because you might forget if you don't take it now. As I certainly did last night when I was playing. Okay, so I get to go first this round due to the wake up order. And I am going to let's give a tour and get some cash. Give a tour gives me 2 lira, and since I have a wine in my cellar with my tasting room, I get my first victory point.
Alright, I think I'm going to take my worker here, slap him up on the plant, finally get some creeps in the ground because this does require irrigation, correct? Is that what I'm reading there? Little gray building?
You got it, yep.
And then
nice Merlot.
That will be the 3 at the bottom is when I harvest.
Yep. The level of grape. I think level is probably the wrong word. I don't remember what word they used to describe it, but I've called it the level. I maybe use vintage. I don't know. Okay, so back to me. And I got a couple things I could do here, right? I've already got a grape or a vine planted. It's a white vine. I don't have any orders to fill yet, so I probably want. And I'm just talking out loud. It's the first game. I may want to draw one of those cards in the winter. You know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go and play a yellow card. And I'm going to play the vendor. The vendor allows me to draw a green, a purple, and a blue. And then you may draw one yellow.
All right, well, you go first.
There's that one. That one. This one. Okay. Back to you.
All right. I believe I am going to build another structure. And for 2, I will be placing my trellis up.
Okay.
And that will be the end of my turn.
You don't have to tell me that yet.
Oh. Well,
you'd wait till I go strategically. So I knew you would.
What do you mean?
Because it's my turn first.
What do you mean?
And then it'd be your turn?
Didn't you just go with the
I thought I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying you were going to pass the rest of your summer turns and go to winter.
No, I said I'm buying a trellis.
Yeah, I know. And then you said you're done with your turn, so I thought you meant you were done with the season.
There's a turn a season?
In my head, just right there, it was.
Oh, so it's not okay. All right.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
We'll get difficulties.
Whew. I'm going to pass.
How long did you ferment that wine, bud? You scared me with the turn and ending thing. All right. So I think I want to do things, but I don't know what. Now, it's too early to technically harvest, right?
You can only harvest in winter.
Okay. So that's not an issue.
Your only options available to you now, if you didn't want to use your grande, are to sell at least one grape or buy or sell one field or draw a green card.
Or I could build another structure with my grande.
With your grande. Correct. Another good action that's not to be missed is the winter action to train another worker.
Oh, I get another guy?
For 4 lire, you can get another worker only in winter.
Oh, only in winter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I think I'm going to draw a green card. That guy.
Okay.
And then not end my season, but end my turn.
Okay.
And then I will. This is requiring both, but I can plant with the grande.
You could plant with the grande.
That there.
All right.
And that will end my season.
Okay. You're going to shift your rooster over to the other side. It's the fall, so we can choose to draw either a yellow or a blue.
I'm going to go blue again. And I'm glad I don't have to say this aloud.
Okay. We are in the winter. You are out of workers.
Oh!
So.
I did not. Oh, that's why you save workers. Smart. Yeah.
I am going to see. I'm going to play a blue card, the Uncertified Teacher. I could lose 1 victory point to train 1 worker, or gain 1 victory point for each opponent who has a total of 6 workers. You obviously don't have 6 workers yet, so I'm going to lose a victory point to train a worker. And I won't get access to him until the next season. That is my last worker. So we get to age our grapes and wines, which I cannot because I still do not have the medium cellar.
Now, I still can't play a card because I don't have a dude, right?
Correct. Retrieve our workers from the board. Residual payments we have done. No one's at 7 cards. This goes to me. And let's see. What am I going to pick? All right. I will go first, and I will do a build action to build the medium cellar for lire.
Wait, I got a drunk guy on the board. Oh no, I only start with 2. Never mind. Everybody's been found. It's okay. Everybody's accounted for.
You're up.
I will do fun things. I don't think I'm going to do anything that elaborate. I do want to do my worker guy.
Don't forget you get your bonus worker too.
Oh yeah, come here, guy. You can do over here. Pay 4 to train a worker.
Can't do that yet. Winter action.
Okay, that's right. Remind me on that.
Yep, blue and yellow.
All right. Oh, that's right. That's the winter side. This is summer side.
Yep.
So, don't want to plant. Maybe. Now, what is yoke again?
The yoke allows you to do a harvest action on your board instead of having to do it on this board. So you never have to worry about harvesting being blocked. You can also harvest any time of the year, like during the summer, when normally you can only harvest in the winter.
Interesting. I think I'm going to purchase that and put this on a build.
Just as a rules clarification, you can only harvest 1 field once per year. So you can't like harvest on your board once on this field in the summer and then harvest it again in the winter. But you could harvest another field in the winter. Does that make sense?
Right. So if I harvested this one,
yep.
Then winter I could harvest this one.
Correct. But you couldn't harvest Merlot twice in 1 year.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Just make sure.
So I'm going to build a structure.
Okay.
And it's going to be the yoke. If I could get 3 of those back, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Shouldn't be a surprise. I'm going to give a tour. Going to get me 2 lire and a victory point back that I lost earlier.
And please, I am going to end my season and just let my grapes.
Okay, move your rooster over.
Oh, yes.
Let that be known.
Oh, wait. Do I lose my gray guy?
No.
So I get him the whole year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all
yep.
right.
Yep. know.
Oh, I didn't put my yolk thing. Where's that? This?
Yep.
Wait, is it this?
Yes.
The goggles.
I am going to I'm gonna plant my Trebbiano, another white wine grape, right there.
Well, how many can you put in a field?
Up to the value of the field. So the first field is 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do 2 plus 3 is 5.
I see. So I could do a 2 there.
Correct.
But I could only do a 1 there.
You could do a 2 there because that has a value of 6. And then
okay.
this one's got a value of 7.
Tracking.
And I think that will be the end of my season. So we'll go into fall. Again, we can draw either a blue or a yellow card.
Your first player.
Blue case.
I think I'm good on blues.
I get the first action, and with that action, I am going to harvest 1 field, which is this one, and I'm going to get a level 2 and a level 3 grape.
I forgot. Harvest last thing, and then use the other 2 to with another dude to harvest. Oh well. I think I'm going to harvest my Cabernet. But you've already blocked that.
But you got the yolk.
So
you don't have to worry about that anymore.
I can
you place it on your board. Yep. The benefit of that item.
So then I get a clear thing.
You get one of these beads, and that would be placed on your level 4 of your crush pad for red wine.
That would be here, correct?
Correct.
Now, in order for me, well, it's your turn.
My turn, but I'm out of workers,
okay.
so I'm done.
So, in order for me to move this to here, I need to do what action?
Make wine action, which is right there.
No, take. Actually, I'm going to put my. That's what he was hired for.
Okay. So this allows you to make up to 2 wine tokens.
Okay.
In your case, you could make a level 4 red wine.
Right there. Now, in order for me to make a fulfillment, how does this work? I would have to place him on a play of purple card.
Fill.
And if I'm reading this correctly, that would be a level 4 wine.
Yep.
But I need 2 glasses.
And a level 2 white wine.
Ah, okay, so I'm not playing that.
Yep, not yet. You need a level 2 white wine first.
But I could.
Even if a card that you have says fill, you still have to have the wine to fill the order.
Right. These yellow ones can only be played when? They can be played anytime?
Play a yellow card action in the summer, and then the blue is play a card action.
Well, I gotta put this guy on the board somewhere. How many cards can we have? 7 or 5?
7.
I think going to.
If you don't want to play a card, this option is always available any season. You can just use a worker to gain 1 lire.
Let's just do that then. Not going to build some of the things I wanted to do.
Okay, end of season.
I'm sure there's something I could have done, but
you could have, if you wanted to. What I found may make sense is draw another purple card, because then it may be only something you have.
Fulfill, yeah.
Yep. But 1 lira gets you 4,
but
which now means
tell me after I make the action.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so and we're gonna age our grapes and our wine. So now that I've got the medium cellar, my white wine goes up to 4, and my grapes also age. So I get a 3 and a 4.
Okay, so then mine would go to 5.
Yep.
And then
you got nothing in your grapes.
Okay, this is white. This is red.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep. Retrieving our workers. Goes back there.
And I'm going to take the same action and go last.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it.
So my turn first. And I am going to plant Malvasia grape or vine on my second field. Don't forget your worker.
I'm gonna take him, and I'm going to.
Can't do that yet.
Oh,
Winter action.
Dang it! That's what I was wanting to do. That's what I should have done on that last action.
You didn't have enough gold. Yeah, or lire.
I don't want to build anything. I do want to harvest the yolk.
Okay.
Can do that, right?
Yes, you can.
So I can take my white.
Red. Both those are red.
Oh, so I couldn't have put them on the field. So I'm gonna need to work on getting.
And which one did you harvest?
The Cabernet.
So that should be at a 4, not a 1.
Here.
Yep.
All right. So how do I keep track of which one's which?
You just got to remember what you can flip over the vine if you want to note that you've harvested it already. You can tap it. Yeah. Perfect. All right. I am going to give it another tour. Get a victory point and 2 more lire.
Interesting. I don't. Guess I'm gonna have to go green and hope for white.
I wish I could borrow some of your reds. All I've got are whites. I'd happily give you a Malvasia. They should make that a thing. We can trade grapes.
When you rent the field out.
Yeah, you rent it to a competitor.
Yeah, and it's alright if it already has vines on it.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Those to winner. Need a fulfillment. I think I mean I'm done with my turn, okay, but not my seed.
All right. I am going to. How's that possible?
I draw a green card down, and I drew a green card.
But I've played twice.
I had a gray guy that's over here.
Oh, gotcha. Listen, I think at this stage, I'm ready for winter.
I think I'm. Did I train a dude? Oh, I can do that in the winter. yellow card. I can do that now, right?
Correct.
So I can play him there and use my peddler, and it's just discard 2 of any.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get rid of these 2.
Yep.
Do they go at the bottom of the stack, or are
They just go discarded on the mat. Yep.
Face up.
Yep.
Okay.
Although I don't think it matters.
And then leave. I get 1 of each. No, I don't have to get rid of my 7 until the end of the year, right?
That is correct.
And then I'll end my
Discard
season.
down to 7. Yep. Okay, your season's over. All right, and then fall, we each get to draw 1 visitor card. So I'm gonna draw blue.
I'm going to. It's yellow or blue, right?
Yellow or blue?
Take a blue.
And I am going to train a worker. 4 lire.
I'm going to use my grande. Here's my 4. And I will take myself another worker.
Go. And
do I get him immediately, or he's hanging out?
He hangs out till next turn. Yep. I am going to play a blue card. I'm going to play the Harvester. Harvest up to 2 fields and choose 1. I either gain 2 lire or gain 1 victory point. So I'm going to harvest both my fields, which is going to give me a 1, a 2, and not a 3 because I'm already at 3. And then I'm going to gain 1 victory point. And I'm out of workers. I think you are as well, right?
Yes, but I need to downgrade.
So let's age the grapes and wine first.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Collect your workers.
Three. Where's the gray guy? He's here.
And then I am going to decide to another green.
Hey now.
Nothing.
All right. I'm gonna take my extra guy.
Okay. So I will go first. Okay. I am going to give a tour. Going to give me 2 lire. Victory point.
I am going to plant a 2 here. Now reds and whites can go together as long as it's a 5, right?
Yep.
So that's planting my whites.
That's the red.
Sierra?
Syrah. Yeah. The 2 in the red circle.
That is a white. But all right.
Syrahs are red. Very much red. They're actually very dark red.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to plant you.
Take that back if you want.
All right, just to catch up, I'm gonna go ahead and plant that. There's my little. Put it out there.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and plant that.
Yeah. Don't forget your gray work
Oh
too.
yeah.
I'm gonna draw another. Oh my Lord, have mercy on me. I just can't with this.
The red.
It's another white.
Oh.
I don't know why that is showing up. Let me reshuffle these. You're getting all the reds. I'm getting all the whites.
So is that why you're shuffling? Is that
no,
cheating?
it's because it
That's
was
cheating.
faced up.
Oh.
There was a card face up.
Was it something I needed? I didn't see what it was.
It was a.
Can we rewind?
It was a Pinot. Gave you a red and a white.
That's a blush, right?
It's a red and a white. You could do either. You get one of each.
Interesting. Okay. I am going to play a yellow card, which allows me to. I can either plant any green if I don't have the things for it, or I can uproot and discard 2 to gain 3 victory points.
Cool.
So I believe I'm going to get rid of these.
Okay. Fancy.
And that should put me on track behind you.
Okay.
And that is action.
Alrighty. I'm going to use my Grande. To give another tour.
I'm going to use my Grande, not now. First. I think I'm going to.
Okay. I will end mine as well. We will go into fall, so we get to draw either a yellow or a blue.
I think you're going to have to explain that blue.
Okay. You can't take a purple.
Oh, I mean a yellow. Do you want to shuffle that? I don't know what it is.
Throw it in the middle. No big deal. All right. My action is first. So I'm going to make a boatload of wine right now, I guess. What am I doing? Worker. And then I get to make up to 2 wine tokens. And what I'm just going to clarify now is I'm pretty sure I can add the numbers together to make 1, but let me just double check. With 1 white grape token to the corresponding space, with 1 red, so I cannot. I have to combine in order to do that. So I'm going to make 2 wine tokens, and they're going to be a number 3, 4.
All right. Can't fill anything. I'm going to harvest
I'm gonna do a blue card. I'm gonna play the manager. It allows me to take any action from a previous season without having to place a worker. So I'm gonna do that to play a tour. It's gonna give me another 2 and 1 more point.
All right, I am going to use my grande to make up to 2 wine tokens. We'll put it a 5.
Yep.
This 4.
Got it.
That turn.
I'm out of workers.
Okay, so one of these allows me
You would need a grande worker to play a blue card. I've already used that action.
Yeah, I'm just reading what this is. I think I want to. I mean, I could draw a purple. Not done. Right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
That gives me 6 and 7.
All right, so we end the year, age everything up.
Now I can't age.
You cannot age.
At my max here.
Correct. So I know. Retrieve our workers. Discard down to 7. I'm good. You.
I will be going.
Alrighty.
This time.
I'm gonna take the victory point.
All right. So that doesn't count as an action, correct?
It's not.
Okay. I'm going to plant.
You finally get one?
Yep.
Look at that.
That's a white or a red.
Ooh.
So I can choose to be white.
You would harvest both.
Okay.
When you do a harvest, you'd get a 1 white and 1 red.
Nice.
I think. Let me double check that. But pretty sure.
Now, fulfilling an order, if it says 3, 4, whatever, if it's a 5, 6, 7, do you still get, or does it have to exactly be 3 in a year 3 and a year 2?
When you fill an order,
Yeah.
it's the minimum number. It has to be at least a 2 or at least a 3.
So it can be over.
Higher, absolutely. Yep. Yep. You get a white and a red.
All right.
What am I gonna do?
I'm gonna have another sip of fermented corn syrup.
Please do. I'm gonna draw green. Come on, baby. Unbelievable.
I bet that's a white.
I'll give it away.
I think I'm only going to do a harvest and end my season and take my red and white. I get a 1 red
You got
and
it.
1 white.
Yep.
And
All
that's
right.
the end of my season.
Okay. I'm gonna give a tour. 2 and 1. And then I am going to another tour. 1. And then I'm going to build the yolk. And then I will pass. And the season. We'll each draw, so you get to draw first, a yellow or a blue. You're up.
So I harvested this one last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good on the red. Don't need to. I think what I want to do is ask you a question.
Okay.
Which is it says choose one, make up to 2 glasses. Does that
Make up
mean
the 2 wines.
Does that mean these?
Mm-hmm. So that would be baking 2 wine beads.
Up to here.
Correct.
Just for playing the card.
That's a red though. But yes.
Oh no, these are whites.
Gotcha. Yep. 1 white, 1. Yeah. So you could make up to 2 different wines. So you can make 1 white, 1 red.
So it'd just be 1 there, 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do when I play that. There.
Okay.
That will be discarded. Okay. That is my turn.
I am going to train my last worker. 4, 6.
And I will take my last one and fill an order.
Okay.
Which would be 1 red and 1 white, or 3 red and 1 white.
Perfect.
So that will give me 2 victory points.
Yep. So you take 1 bead of 3 or more.
That's a 4. That one.
Okay. And then your 1 bead. This will go away. Thank you, sir. And you'll get 2 victory points.
1, 2.
And you'll get 1 residual lire. Run out.
And that is all my workers, sir.
All right. End of the season. We age our grapes, wines. And
how does this work here? Do I just do
Nope,
that, or
it
that
stays
has
on
to
5.
stay at 5?
Yep. And then we grab our workers off the board. You get your residual payment of 1 lire for your fulfilled order. This goes to me. And I am going to... Now we got to discard down to 7. How many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to discard. Garbage out of here.
Oh, you lost a lot of fans. Just dumped a Chardonnay.
Listen, give me a nice steel barrel Chardonnay. I'll drink that. I can't do the super heavy oaky Chardonnays. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to go ahead and... Army wants to take a green card, but I'm almost to the point where maybe I just go all in on these tours and try and get to the end of the game here. Take a few rounds and you've got grapes going. Decisions. Got the extra worker, so I'm gonna take the victory point.
I'm gonna take the worker.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go first, and my first action will be to draw a green card. Unbelievable.
At the whites.
Ridiculous.
All right. I am going to do a yolk and get a red and a white going. And that's the end of that turn.
Alright. Give a tour. Lire and a victory point.
I believe I'm going to
Lire. No victory points for you. You don't have the tasting room. Papa Trevor for the win.
Wait, what happened to your thing over there?
I don't know. Did it die?
Possible. Well, no, it should be charging. Check the white cape. Technical difficulties.
It's dead.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
And then make sure that white cape is in there.
All right. My turn. I'm gonna play my guy. 2 and 1.
I will. I will wait until winter.
Okay. I'm gonna build the windmill. 5. And then plant Trebbiano here. And when I plant a vine, I get 1 victory point with. And then I'm going to end my season. Pick a blue or yellow card. And my last worker going to blue card. Crush Expert. Gain 3 lire and draw 1 purple card or make up to 3 wines. I am going to take the 3 lire and draw a purple.
Not be playing a blue. I think the first thing I'm going to do is gain 1.
Okay.
Are you out?
I'm out.
I'm going to train 4. And I shouldn't take him yet. He was over there. And then my last guy will make up to 2 wine tokens.
Perfect.
Put white here and red there.
You got it.
And that's the end of my season.
All right. Everything ages.
And then
you get your residual.
1.
Workers off the board. It goes to you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get rid of
3,
1.
4, 5. Good. And I'm gonna play the short game.
Okay, I'll take.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hopefully win the game without ever fulfilling a single wine order.
That will be epic. Be bad for me because I'm obviously the superior
Vinter.
Vintage. All right. So I'm going to plant a. Oh wait, no, that was my green thing. So
yep.
I'm planting it.
Okay.
And that's the action I'm doing right now. And then it's you.
Sure.
I believe I'm gonna end my season. Let me just see here. Actually, no. I'm going to play a yellow card and for lire.
Okay.
From patron.
Alrighty. I'm gonna draw a green card. Oh!
You finally got
hey! Whoa! I'm gonna. You're done, right? Your other season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use the Grande to play a yellow card. Finally, I'm gonna play the Agriculturist. I get to play 1 green card, which will be my Merlot here. Then, if you have at least 3 different types of vines planted on that field, gain 2 victory points. You. And then.
Might as well do the tour.
I can't.
3 away.
I can't. I use my Grande for that action.
You clinch it.
I'm going to do a build action. And I am going to buy the cottage.
And this has a solo mode, right?
It does. Yeah. It comes with the Automa cards, like most of the other Stonemaier games. I haven't tried it yet, but I hear it's really good. And then I'm going to end my season.
Yeah, there's no way for me to block you. will do the best I can. Alright, I think I'm going to fulfill an order.
Okay.
With 4.
Oh.
That'll give me
3.
1, 3, and 1 jewel puts me 2, and I think the game is going to be over.
Probably. I am going to harvest this field, which gives me a 3, 2, and a 1. You could block me with a make 2 wine tokens.
That's what I'm thinking. Making sure I can't do it for something better.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna get as close as I can and play a blue card.
Okay.
Harvest up to 3 fields. If you harvest 3 fields, you get 2 points.
Oh, cool.
So, 2 whites, 2 reds.
Yeah.
I can't harvest.
No, you totally can. You can't harvest ones you've already harvested.
I haven't harvested anything.
Nothing this turn.
Nope.
Okay. Perfect. So the way that actually works, and I think I actually did mine wrong just now. It's not a 2 and a 1. It becomes a 3 for the white. You're supposed to add up, and I don't know if we've been doing this the whole game, so our apologies if we haven't. You add up the total values of each type of grape.
Okay,
so it'd be a 5 white and a 5 red. Yeah.
This would go to a 5, and this would be a...
Correct.
And then I get...
Yep. All right. I'm going to make 2 wine tokens. I'm going to make a 3 red, 3 white.
Does that not give you any points?
Nope, not till I fill in order. Got your grande left.
Oh. Fill that. I already played. I'm gonna play another blue card. I'm gonna gain 3. Draw a yellow or purple and make up to 2 glasses. Is that the deal?
2 wines from your grapes. Yeah.
From here.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be a 5.
Mm-hmm. And you can move
and I get
the red to a 5 as well.
Oh, I get to do 2. Yeah. There. And
you gain how much
no,
lire?
no,
3?
no. It's or. So I'm drawing.
Oh, gain 3 and draw 1, or draw 1 and make.
Purple and to make 2.
Cool.
So purple.
That it?
For me, yes, sir.
All right. So we're
aging.
Your workers. You're gonna get your residual 2.
You want 5 there.
Discard down to 7.
Good.
Good. And then this goes over here. Go up. I am going to... Now, for reference, the game won't immediately end when I get to 20. We play through the year.
Last year.
And whoever has more, if you catch me and pass me, if there's more than one player that has more than 20, that's where it ends. So it still behooves me to try and get as many points as possible. So I'm gonna block you from getting a victory point and take that one.
That's cool with me. I think I'll take the. I don't really need the extra worker. I'll draw another purple just in case I can fulfill more than one order here.
Oh. You're up first.
I am going to. Can't play a blue during the summer, can I?
Not.
What is it? So I'm going to. So for me to go to the large cellar, it's 6.
Yes.
I'm gonna build large cellar.
Okay.
Which I'm only playing for future reference. I know that's not doing me anything now for points.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have played that if I had the tasting.
Yeah.
Or to block you.
Yeah. Nice to be there.
I think I'm going to harvest. My 4 here.
Okay. Seems
Alright.
super overpowered that I can just get double points there. When you give a vineyard tour, if you have at least one wine in your cellar, gain 1 victory point. Oh, max 1 victory point per year. How many times have I done that? 5 or 6?
Every year.
Have I done it twice every year? Probably. Almost
yeah.
every year.
Well, at least this one and the last 2, I think.
Probably more than that.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I've cheated the whole game. So how about that? So we were just looking at the board. I'm only allowed to get 1 victory point per year by doing the tasting room tour. And I've been doing, when I play my Grande, I've been getting the 2nd point each turn.
Would you be getting any other points through anything else to make up for it?
When I bought the Windmill, I get a point for planting wines.
Okay, so you would have picked up a couple.
I would, but I think I only did that once. It's at least 6 or 7 bonus points. We've probably played. This is probably our 10th year. So
it's cool. Let's just see where we go.
Okay.
Because this is a game I'll play again.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. So okay. I cheated.
That's all right.
Sorry.
That's not the first time I've heard you say that. It's not the first time I've not.
Yeah.
It's probably the first time I've not said it.
Yeah. It's pretty clear on the board, though. I don't know how I missed it. So.
And it's my fault for not reading.
Jumped up on me.
Hey.
Yeah. Right there.
All right. So anyway, did you go?
I went. I'm gonna take at least take the point back from this turn, though.
And your little guy.
No, leave him there. It's fine. I'll take the 2.
Fine. Okay. I don't have anything to plant. I will want to harvest. I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna build the large cellar. I can't. I am going to. I might as well take advantage of the windmill. That's legal. 1 per year. And I probably should have drawn a green card first to see if I could have got another red before I did that, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to pass the rest of my turn. So that takes us to the fall.
I will be going first.
Yellow or blue, you get to draw first. And I actually, because I have the tasting room now, I get one of each. Or not the tasting room, the cottage.
Take a blue. Ooh. Dang, that would have been tasty.
Tasty.
Let me get rid of that. Alright, first thing I will be doing is fulfilling a request. We'll put this on the fill.
You have a blush?
Order. Nope. So I won't be doing that.
I know, they look the same. It's just the red. So to make a blush, when you do your winemaking action, if you have a red and a white grape, you can combine them.
Blush and sparkling wine key.
Yeah. So the blush is 1 white plus 1 red, and then a sparkling would be 1 white and 2 reds.
So in order for me to do that, what action do I need to take?
That would be a make white action with the grapes that you have, right? So if you
I don't have the grapes to do it.
Correct. You would need a white grape and a red grape. That totals at least 4 in value.
So then I will harvest a field. Oh, they have to be 4s.
Well, it's combined. They'd have to add up to 4. So if you were to do what I think you're going to do, you're going to take that and get a 4 red, right?
5. Oh, no, I'm not harvesting that one. Yeah, so I got a 4 and a 4.
Then you would do, your next turn would be a wine make action. You'd combine those two together. So it would be an 8 blush.
Okay.
Make sense?
Wow. 8.
An 8.
So, and then the sparkling is just a different shape of glass. It's
Correct.
like a champagne glass.
You got it.
All right. Tracking.
I'm going to fill an order.
What?
Yeah, man. Finally, I can at least say I made 1 wine. Fulfilled the order.
So then you obviously know what I'm doing, which is making up to 2 wine tokens and turning this into blush. Okay. Will it become a 5 then?
It's an 8. 4 plus 4.
I see. Returned.
Okay. And then I am going to do play a blue card action. The judge. I get to draw 2 yellow cards or discard 1 wine value 4 or more to gain 3 victory points. So I'm going to discard a wine. That puts me at the 25 cap.
Technically, I should have played this teacher card, which would have... Oh no, because I already played a blue card. I have a question about this blue card after the game.
Okay.
I can fill 1 order. So put him here.
Okay.
And this blush. Yeah, 4. Oh, I don't think I got my. Oh no, it's only.
Cool.
Not too bad.
on my last turn. I'm not done.
I mean, no, I'm just saying. I don't think I did that bad for a first run.
No, and to be honest, you take away the 7 points I probably had extra, we would be probably neck and neck, if not you in a slight lead at this point. I mean, those champagne cards are sick.
Yeah, I have one, and you really need the reds and whites.
Yep.
And the getting the silver, the 2 instead of the 1.
Yep.
Is huge, and 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's insane.
Yep.
The craftsman card. So I paid regular price to go up to the large seller.
Mm-hmm.
But this says draw a purple card or upgrade the seller at regular cost. Well, wouldn't I still be paying? What purpose does that?
It allows you to do a build action in the winter.
I see. Because it's a blue card. It plays in the winter. All right. And then the teacher card that I had would have been make the 2 instead of playing a blue card. I could have used this afterwards if I needed to. Very good. Very good.
All right. So, at the end of the day, that was a scrub game because I cheated.
But not
unknowingly. But what did you think?
I actually really enjoy the game. I personally started out as a person who did not like worker placement.
Mm-hmm.
I was immediately drawn into miniature type dungeon fantasy stuff. But as I played it more, like Catan, Terraforming Mars. I mean, Catan, they said, oh yeah, you love this one. It was okay. The Seafarers expansion made it a little better. Terraforming Mars was really good. So as I began to play more of these worker placement games, I've enjoyed them a lot more and appreciate them a lot more. They're fast to play. The rules aren't very complex, and they're all different in their own way. Even though some of the mechanics are repetitive, the game feels different.
Yep. I
mean, I could be completely wrong because we're playing higher end on the BGG list of those games. We're not buying lower end Euro games.
Yep. I'm excited to try this game with more than one other person, with a 3-player game or more, because that opens up the ability to do a second action. And the middle circles here on the board mean you get a bonus, right? So if I'm the first player to do the build action that turn, I get 1 lire and can do the build action, right? If I'm the first player to do the plant action, I can plant 2 cards. I can play 2 yellow cards. I can draw an extra green card. So I think that adds another cool element.
And I wonder if in the solo, did you read the solo rules?
No, not in detail.
I wonder if those AI cards put that into play.
They may. Yeah.
Because that would definitely, because I know from what I saw in an interview about the game and why they rated it high as a good solo game. They didn't say, but I mean, it seems like that it would be more challenging, because if they can't do this action, they move to this action. If they can't do that action, they move to this action. So they're going to do something that's going to eventually block you.
Yeah.
Which makes the board much more challenging to work with.
Yep.
So I think it would be interesting to see if they add that element into this.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the frustrating things for me that really came out this game, I didn't have it so much last game, and it could just be RNG, but I mean, it took me 6 years or so to get a red vine.
Yeah, and I was a year earlier than you to get a white.
So that we joked a little bit in the playthrough about trading.
Yeah.
Right. Or potentially buying and selling. I think that could be an interesting option.
But you said you also had an expansion. We don't know if that brings any type of...
I read the rules in the expansion. I don't think there's anything in there like that. But there are some cards, I will say. I ran into them last night. There's a yellow card that I remember quite clearly where you could buy a level 1 white and a level 1 red grape for 3 lire. So there are some card options.
So you could go to like a seed bank or store.
Basically, yeah.
Cool.
But the expansion adds a lot of cool stuff to the game, supposedly. it expands the board, so it's a bigger board. You could put influence markers out across Italy, and however, like what portion of Italy you're influencing gets you extra bonuses.
Oh, nice.
I think that the victory condition increases from 20 to 25 points, or maybe it's even 40 points. I don't remember exactly, but there's more ways to get victory points, which I like. I like being able to get victory points every turn, clearly, and doubling up in a cheating way. But I like the simple complexity of the game, so I can see why it's rated so high.
Yeah, and again with all these type of games, it's I don't feel like I've lost the game. I'm happy with the progress I made, and the next time I play, I'm just gonna try to beat 15. It's not like I'm actually disappointed that I lost.
Right.
I was kind of happy with the way
Yeah, that's the second Stonemaier game that I feel that way with. I was very much that way with Tapestry as well.
Yeah,
just
I
trying
still
to beat
need to
yourself.
try to break 100.
That's not true. 200.
Yeah. Is it 200?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay. You broke 100. Yeah,
All
200.
right.
200 was our number.
It wasn't by much.
But no, a good one. We'll maybe we'll do another playthrough eventually. Maybe we'll bring the expansion out.
Yeah, definitely.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that I would sit down and I would play again right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't have to go, I would be like, dude, let's play another game.
Yeah. And to your point, I want to definitely try the Automa and the solo mode.
Yeah.
For this one.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, take care.